Yeah. Yeah, I know that shit was tough week. This for the vlogging channel. I'm sure y'all probably already watching it on here. But shit, I'm about to take a walk to the store. Thought I'd show y'all something different instead of bringing females to the crib and shit like that. There's other type of shits I could do too. I'm about to take me a little walk and I thought I'd take y'all with me. Let me just lock this fucking door real quick. See, y'all know I got a car, I drive, but I walk too. I walk too, I'm gonna take a walk to the store. It's a nearby store. It ain't like New York. No, it's definitely not like New York. But it's gonna be out here. I'm gonna take the longest route possible. And I thought I'd just take y'all with me. Ooh, dang, I gotta get used to this vlogging shit still. So, I know y'all probably noticed I haven't been uploading a lot like on my reaction channel and stuff like that. I mean, I'm getting back into it now, but I just gotta say, it's been going through stuff, Been going through stuff. Catching up with bills and all of that. Working overtime, trying to make sure the bills is right. Trying to keep the apartment, maintain it, all of that, It's a lot, and you don't want to come on here. You don't want to come off and be like, oh, putting up a fake act and all of that when you making videos and shit, So, yeah. But yeah, y'all probably see in my little neighborhood, And this is all y'all gonna see, nothing but trees. I don't need nobody tracking me down looking for nobody. You ain't gonna find nobody here. But yeah. Guess I'll start a little conversation with y'all. Guess I'll give y'all a little story time while I'm doing this. Of when I first moved. Dude, that dude mad on the phone, goddamn. But yeah, I'm talking about he smacked the fuck out of somebody. What the fuck? Get away from this, man. But yeah, give me 1 second. Yeah, I'm back. Alright. So let me tell you about my little story about when I first moved to North Carolina 6 years ago. I've been in North Carolina for 6 freaking years. And that video y'all seen of me in New York, I think he was like a couple of videos ago. That was like my first time back in New York since I left. I was 17 when I left New York. And now I'm 23. I turned 23 in New York. I went up there for my birthday. But let me get into this little story time, And I know one of the things that y'all are probably gonna wonder, that I get so many of the same questions is, why did you come to, how did you end up in New York? No, not New York. How did you end up from New York to North Carolina? Well, the answer is quite simple. I was a minor at the time. Like I said earlier, I came out here when I was 17. So if I'm coming out here, my mom's, my dad, my brother, and me, we all had to move. It wasn't even just us. It was my cousins, my 3 cousins, aunt and uncle. We didn't all move together, but we did, long story short. We just all lived in separate apartments, but as far as the 2 families, but that's another story. But the reason why we came out here was to get out of the hood, basically. We lived in the Marcy projects since I was an infant, since before my little brother was even born. And it was crazy over there. My mom was real strict and stuff like that. She didn't really let me leave the house as much and all of that. So like I could, but I was only able to hang out outside of the neighborhood because people, I used to go outside, or I used to be chilling in the crib. All I hear is bop, 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 bop. That's all I used to hear and shit. So he says, I'm about seeing somebody die, so so yeah. My mom was one of those terrified types. Like, kept me in the crib. I used to play video games and stuff, and that's pretty much like why I just be chilling, But other than that, since that was like a bad environment, it was a toxic environment. Like, I'm not trying to make it sound bad, but it was bad. The freaking whatchamacallit, the building that I lived in was disgusting. It was filthy. The building was a rat infested building, but there was none in the apartment, thankfully. And not only that, it was a roach infested building, so we had some in the apartments and all of that. It didn't matter if your crib was clean or not. So it was like a very toxic environment. Like, it was dirty. You could clean your crib all you want. The person next to you crib dirty, they're gonna crawl into your shit. But yeah, I lost my train of thought. That was me growing up in New York, pretty much. But so that's all the reasons, why we pretty much left. Now, leaving, it was my last year in high school in New York. My mom was trying to move out here for a minute. Like, I left like my third year in high school in New York. But like, we was planning moving for a while. Like, we came out and visited out here a year before this time and everything. I got to feel this shit out and everything. So when the time came, I pretty much had to pack everything, move, had my friends come over and stuff, my day ones. They came through to the crib for the last time, there at least, in that crib. And they seen me off. It was an emotional moment, And I went and took the cab and stuff like that. Because we took a taxi to the airport. Not the airport, we took a coach bus. I don't ever want to do that again. Never. Fuck a coach bus, that shit get me tight. But yeah, I want to make sure I don't fall. There's a car, I'm walking on the side of the road right now, and there's cars driving past. As you can see, one just passed me. So I want to make sure I don't get hit on video, even though that would be good content. But I don't think it'll pay my hospital bill since I ain't got no clout. But yeah. So we pretty much just left. Like, we took the cab, went over to the freaking bus station, the Greyhound bus. That's what we took. And I gotta tell you, that was the boringest. That was the most longest ride ever. Like, it was boring as hell. Like recently, when I went to New York I went to New York last month. I took a plane there. That was my first time ever on a freaking plane. That was the quickest, for someone who first time flying, compared to taking a freaking coach bus. Like, I'm taking a plane when I go to New York again, or anywhere. Because I'm not doing that long drive. I'm glad I didn't drive out there. Tight with that freaking motorcycle, trying to talk over me and shit. And he's all the way down there, and he still hear this, man. But yeah, what I was saying, I was whatchamacallit. That was a long ride. You know, I made it out to North Carolina pretty much the next day. From being on the bus so late. You know, we was on the bus overnight, stopping at each city, stopping at each state. Delaware, New Jersey, all over that shit to get there. You know, that sucked. And yeah, I made it to North Carolina. And now here I am. If y'all want another story time, I got you. Right now, I'm about to get ready to end this shit. About to go to the store, get me something to drink. Brooklyn Tie out.